Dan Does Footy production, a program created by two unique individuals with no credibility, talent, or critical thinking skills. They're here to call it as they see it. They're going to exchange ideas, thoughts, and even their energy. They're not always going to get it right, and most times you're not going to agree with them. But that's okay, because just like you, they care. Embrace the chaos, and let's do footy together.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. Great to have you with us here on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Beautiful for some, not for me. Just glad to have you wherever you are and however you're listening. What a weekend. Lots of ups, more downs. Ollie, how was your weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I've come in great spirits,
Have
really,
you?
haven't I? I mean,
Yeah,
I've got
seems like it.
Blow up finger behind me.
Yeah, sorry.
You have to visualise that one.
Mm.
No, are you okay? Like,
Yeah, am I okay? Am I okay?
I know it's not Are You Okay Day, but it doesn't matter. We can ask these things whenever you want.
As long as everyone had a good weekend. I didn't. I had an absolute horrible weekend. It was going so well until about 1 p.m. yesterday
Okay,
when the news came through.
sure.
Pick 3. Our hopes and dreams. The player that maybe would elevate the footy club.
Yeah.
Maybe lodge us through the premiership window. The missing piece potentially. Another midfield depth player. A Sam Walsh protege.
Mm-hmm.
ACL, Jagger Smith.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the worst news possible.
Well,
Yes, that was a tough day.
The good news is, because he's got Doc with him, he'll be back in 3 months.
Yeah, well,
so
true.
that's fine, you know.
Yeah, true. I mean, Doc was a bit older. I don't think they're rushing back an 18-year-old Jagger Smith. But just like, what are we doing with these games? Why are we playing these preseason games? I don't get it. Even the way he did it was so innocuous. Got a knock to the knee. And then the club said, Tim Clark goes, post-game, Tim Clark says this. This is a quote. So we can't get sued for this.
Okay.
Tim Clark says, he just got a knock to his knee late in the game. We kept him off as a precaution. Nothing too serious. Hey, Tim, I'd say an ACL is pretty fucking serious, Tim. Fucking Tim. Joe, we traded up for him as well through the kitchen sink at the Eagles.
Yeah.
Got with Matt Owies.
Yeah.
And we wanted him. We somehow got ourselves to pick 3 in the draft. We take him. We're going, how good is this? Everyone's happy. The club's happy. We see the preseason stuff. He's flying around and does an ACL. First game. It's shit for the Carlton. It's shit for me. That's a bad feeling in the studio today. Bit somber.
Well,
You're up and about. Bit somber. But as an 18-year-old,
yeah.
that's horrible. I feel for the kid.
Yeah, and look, to be honest, we actually now, Jagger and I, share something because only 100 metres away from where he did his ACL was where I did my ACL in Princess Park. So I totally... The turf there must be...
Cursed.
There's something there.
It's cursed.
Yeah, I
the
think,
turf at Icon is definitely cursed, and I think even surrounding turf is cursed.
Well, the graveyard is there.
Yeah.
Next to it.
Nothing happens that good happens out there. Like, I just feel like every preseason for the last couple of years, we've just had the worst injuries. ACLs. Not even like, we've had a few hammies, which are annoying, but like big ones. ACL. Random stuff that just shouldn't be happening.
Sure.
Doesn't happen in any other club.
No.
We'll get leprosy this week.
Yeah.
Guarantee it. There'll be a case of leprosy running wild through the Carlton change rooms.
Yep.
Like, we just get the most rogue stuff all the time.
Yeah. Look, I feel for you, and you didn't look great either, did you? The Saints were all over you at Icon.
We were good for a quarter.
And you know what? You were good for a quarter, and bizarrely, that was the quarter that I wasn't there for.
Great.
And so I felt like when I rocked up, you felt like maybe they had something to play for, the Saints.
You're the curse.
No, they had that momentum. They went,
Ollie's here.
Ollie's here, we better.
Yeah, Ollie's here. Well, poor Jagger Smith, hearing reports he was on the phone yesterday, a few of the boys, the Carlton boys, just in tears.
Yeah.
Just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It's not the way, I mean, who's a young kid that's come back? I mean, Will Ashcroft.
Will Ashcroft is a great
That's a great
example.
case. I'd be calling Will saying, hey, so I'm feeling, how'd you do it? How'd you go? Because Will had a real dog in him to get back and be an absolute jet. 18 years old.
Yeah, it's
ACL in the system for 6 months.
Yeah. And these might be slightly different, but you're never quite the same after these sort of, you have surgery on anything. You might have recovered, but you're not quite the same.
I think it's a case of any player who does a big injury like an ACL, an Achilles, anything 12 months, there's always, no matter how well we come back, that seed of doubt of like, this could go again.
100%.
Or I'm not going to be the same again. The things I could I could cut sharply before. I can't do that. I could jump higher. There's always going to be that doubt in the back of your head going, oh, pull back a bit, pull back.
Yeah.
The body naturally will do that. So I just feel for the kid, feel current fans. Or, I just heard, because I didn't see the, I heard my phone go off and didn't think much of it. It was Sunday, 1 p.m. Didn't think much of it.
Sure.
But as soon as the phone went ding, I heard like a big crash, boom, shaking.
Really? Yeah.
And that was just the knees of Carlton supporters
Sure.
hitting the deck at home. Just, my knees are so sore. I hit the deck hard.
And where were you? You were at home, were
I was
you?
at home.
You had Poppy
in
you
hand.
nearly
I went,
threw her.
geez, and I take Poppy, something's happening
Yeah.
here, and just crushed my knees. And a lot of people going, oh, how's the lid status? What's the lids on? Here's the lid status for you. Yeah, Blues fans, this is the status of the lid. Just couldn't be any more firmly on, and just start locking it up, boys. The lid's not coming off for a while. That's locked. Just got 3 padlocks here on this lid, just in case something is to come loose. Just another one as well. So,
You need 3, yeah. Well, that's not coming off anytime soon,
it's
is
the key.
it?
I've been in that for a while. Would you say that's on, Ollie? Oh, it's just supposed to be the year, Just supposed to be the year. 2026 is our year for sure.
Oh, for sure. You
I
can
think
lock
for
that
sure
in.
it's going to happen. But you were there. What did you see through your eyes? Let's try and turn this thing around.
Yeah, let's have a positive angle. Look, I had a great day. I mean, I was staring down the bottom, the absolute barrel of a 196 for most of it. But I had an absolute cracking time. You might have seen me on the coverage behind the goals at not the grandstand end. Don't really know what you call it. I've been calling it the facility end.
Club end.
Yeah, the club end.
Yep.
And had a great time. Ran into some really great people. I had a knock on the window behind me, and Brad Ebert was there, and he came out and said hello to me.
Brad Ebert was there.
Brad Ebert works for your club.
What does he do?
He is he's a coach of some sort.
Okay.
So
Is he diagnosing ACLs as well? Or is he just leaving that for Tim Clark?
I think he's leading up for TC.
Yeah, great.
Had a chat with former Carlton player Mitch Robinson.
How'd that go? That'd have been good.
Yeah, no, he was he's an energetic fella.
It definitely is.
He was very passionate,
Yeah.
but good Tasmanian as well. So we had a little bit to chat about
True.
there. Had a great time. Game ends, and I firmly planted myself right where the Saints run off.
We have to talk about this.
Yeah.
A lot of comments came through of what you did.
Respect.
Well, there was a lot of comments saying, why did he push so many kids to the side to get to the front, and then was hanging an arm out through the caged bit, yelling out flag Saints before every player. Now, did any player actually acknowledge you or not?
Yeah, I had 3 that went they shook their head and went,
Yeah,
"You're
not
an
good.
idiot."
Because you were in full Saints gear.
Yeah, I had shorts,
Singlet?
a singlet, and a hat.
Hat on, yeah.
And I actually think I had socks on. Put
Yeah.
it this way: how many MCs do you know are going out to pracky games and giving the players high fives when they come off, knowing that in 2 weeks' time I'm going to be standing? I can walk off with them in a normal game. You know?
True.
So, but I'm standing there, I've got my arm through the barrier. Ross the boss was the best one because I know I'm at this beautiful place with Ross now where he's seen me enough times that he knows me somehow, but I don't think he ever
doesn't know what you're
remembers
doing.
like how.
No.
So then it throws him off because then like one time it'll be me interviewing him at the Crest launch. And then the next time it'll be at Icon Park with my arm
Through a cage.
Through a cage.
Saying,
And
"Touch
so
me."
It really throws him off. So it's we've got an interesting working relationship.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, you did push a lot of kids out the way to get to the front.
I do regret that.
Yeah.
Didn't think
Did you
through
push
that.
any over?
Didn't push any over, but you know what? I firmly believe this, and I'm not going to make apologies for this. I'm 30 years old. I've been there. I've done it. I've had the heartbreak. Some of these kids,
Haven't done the hard yards
they
yet.
haven't done the hard yards
they
yet.
gotta learn.
Like, yeah,
I'm
okay,
with ya.
they haven't seen a successful St Kilda side yet, but they might have seen us play in finals a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We've got a great culture. We've got a decent list. I'm the one who deserves that high five.
So you
right
should
now.
go front of the line.
Yeah,
Over a 5-year-old kid who's been to his first game ever, who's pretty excited about seeing the boys. And maybe touching an AFL player. You reckon you get to go in front of him? Because you've said you work with him, actually.
I was there first. That's all. I don't know what to tell you.
So you're essentially like Geelong as Catman.
yeah. I don't know what.
Port has that guy that's the TikToks of the Pitbull song.
Yeah. The Giants have that guy who face paints with the orange
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Collingwood. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I think he's in jail, actually.
Yeah, we'll leave that one alone.
Kangaroos have Musa.
Yes.
Musa, who just sprays the boys.
I love, by the way, the dogs have Shazza. And Shazza is brilliant. She's just a head to toe everything.
We should do a podcast with all the characters in here. And just,
I don't want
open the floor up to them.
I don't want to bring Big Brother up, but like a Big Brother style, like the number one fans all in a house for a weekend.
And you'd be in there as well.
Would be, and me, yeah.
Yeah.
Dressed as a priest or something.
Maybe we'd do it. But these, I mean, you were there, you saw it, you probably got a better, definitely got better vision than what we did on TV.
Yeah.
The preseason games, they're a tough watch.
It's a real miss kicks, yes.
I know, as in like the vision of watching the game. It's like we borrowed someone's iPhone and someone's just like on an iPhone call.
Yeah, see, it looked great from my eyes, but it didn't look good on TV,
it's
did
a FaceTime. We've got, shaky cameramen on their Nokia. We've got the reserves commentary team. We've got, most of the time, I can't see what's going on in the play because we're just cutting viciously.
Sure.
We're cutting left, right, center, back of heads. I'm seeing a lot of back of heads. And then just seeing a bunch of VFL teams. I think the Saturday game, Saints-Blues game, was pretty much full strength for both. Maybe towards the back end.
Yeah, more or less. Like, obviously, Cripper, I don't think, played the second half. But, more or less, yeah.
But we're seeing a lot of VFL teams run out and just get demolished by AFL teams. Like the Suns in the triple threat match just went to town on 2 VFL teams pretty much.
The triple threat match is great. That's so good.
I know. Well, we didn't see any weapons, which is disappointing for me.
No, true.
I was expecting someone to jump off the top belt, but that did not happen at all. And now in these games, we're getting injuries to key players like the D's.
Yep.
And that ACL to young Andy. I think it's Monitz. Wakefield.
That rings a bell.
Either or, he does a knee in the last 5 minutes of the game. Marty Hall broke a hand apparently. So, are we going to continue these games going forward? Because you're not getting much out of them. Maybe the players are getting some Ks in the legs, but we're not really getting a lot. You're getting some football fix, but at what cost?
Well, you are the perfect person to ask. Naturally,
Duh.
I mean, and everyone says there's nothing quite like playing. Like that.
Yeah.
That is always going to trump any 5K time trial or whatever it might be. Like you can be as fit as you want, but it's only until you're in the moment of a game that you really realise, this is tough work.
Yeah.
So, how much fitter are you getting for playing them? Because I would imagine it would help, right? Like, could you realistically just run all preseason and just stick to light contact and then go into opening round or whatever and be ready to go?
I think at this stage now, the teams are just doing this to get the match, simulations in and the actual gameplay knowledge into the players. It's not for fitness at all. It's like, okay, this is how you set up a set of bounces. This is how you adapt to being 5 goals down. This is how, you get the body prepared for impact. Because in training, you're not really doing like the match full on.
No.
So not that they're really doing it here as well, but this is more just to get your body ready to go to war again. Because you've done the running.
Yeah.
You've done the skills. This is like body on body. This is setting up structures. This is like properly trying to get yourself right for round 1.
So I think you do need it, don't you?
I think you do, but maybe do you just go straight? Are we just saying, should it be like you just play the first to third year players in that first game, the ones we've seen this week, and then the next one you do a full squad lineup into round 1? Should we just go to round 1 straight away? To avoid some of this stuff that we're seeing right now. Injuries, if you get injured, at least it means something. Should the Amy, I think it's the Amy Community Cup or whatever it is, not even a cup, should this week coming up in football, which is the pre-season properly, should that be, are we playing for something? So players are actually going full tilt. They're playing for something.
Well, that's then you've got two sides of the same coin because then now just us as fans want a decent spectacle, right? So I want to watch, if I'm watching a Saints game, like injuries are going to happen because we're going out here for something.
Going for something.
We're doing something.
I think it has to be something on the line.
Yeah.
Like for this week preseason where you're probably going to play your full squads and
Yep.
go a bit harder than you normally would, definitely than last week.
Yeah.
Is there a thing where we do a cup and it's for money?
Yeah.
And it's the NBA do it and don't want to do sports comparisons to American sports especially because that never goes well. But is there the preseason for a pool of money?
100%.
And you win, you advance, and they're shorter games, but at least you're going harder, and then the whole club gets a collective pool. I know we've got what's the system we've got during the year where the team wins $1 million?
Oh, the McLennan.
Yeah, I know we've got that, but is there a shorter version of that for preseason?
100%. I don't see why not. In soccer is the perfect example. They do that. So you enter into an invitational tour, the Audi Cup, and it might be, Arsenal, LA Galaxy, and whoever else, and they play a little round robin, and then there's a decent bit of cash at the end.
Yeah,
something
end of it.
Absolutely.
I know. But yeah, this week was tough. I mean, that cameraman was just shaky. Like he's just come
What's
for a
their
night out.
pre-season too?
It is, but this was like, hey, he's just rolled out of like electric.
Really?
Just ready to start. It was it wasn't electric. Ash wasn't the cameraman, was he? It was even some of the twos commentators.
Again, it's pre-season.
It was a real mute job.
We're-
Tom Rockcliffe was talking about God knows what there for a bit. I was like, oh, Tom, I've just got to pour myself a glass of red and put Drake's new album on. Just have this on the background.
I thought you said pour a glass of red, then poo,
No.
which I would totally get as well.
No, well, yeah, sometimes that does happen.
Yeah.
Well, big news, a lot to get through this episode because it seems like mayhem's happened everywhere in the last few days especially.
Yep.
The big one, again, in your club.
Mm-hmm.
Your club's doing a lot. I don't want this to be a secured episode, but geez, you're noisy at the moment.
Yeah.
Not the noisiest thing, but Nasiah Wangani Miller, next contract. 6 to 10 years they're talking. About to collect that money bag. About to be a rich, rich man. Can you keep him? Now, we know that money's not an issue. If anything, you've got too much money.
Yeah,
You've got a surplus of cash ready to spend. Can you keep him? Because Adelaide's calling. The Moles balls are saying, come home. Come home, Nasiah Wangani Miller.
Yeah. They've got good voices, the Bulls, don't they?
Do Port or Adelaide are saying, hey, come back home. Play for us.
I would do anything to keep him. Before bringing in a Finn Callahan or a TDK, he is so silky to watch. Like watching him yesterday, he's a bit bigger. He's like his composure reminds me so much of, at least a St Kilda jumper, when Lenny Hayes did have the ball or Nick Del Santo. Time really did start to slow down. And it feels like that with him. And I don't remember the last time in the last couple of years we've had that. I feel like there's always been a little bit of, it's a bit rushed with the Saints sometimes. But when Naz has the ball, time stops a little bit.
He's got
he's brilliant.
Absolutely no regard for his opponent.
No.
Ross would say you're playing on, someone. He'd go, mate, I just don't give a shit. I'm going spare man, just give me the ball, and I'm going to run out of defense.
Yeah.
Just lightning quick.
He really
His foot skills are amazing.
Yeah.
Just every time. And he's going for targets, like corridor, gone to pick it off.
Yep.
Doesn't care about risk at all. So Ross must have just said, hey, whatever you want to do back there, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you've got to keep him. You've got to throw something. 6-10 years. These 10-year deals.
It's generous, isn't it?
Tassie's come in and just thrown everything upside down. Everyone's getting signed to a 10-year deal.
It's really Tassie's fault, isn't it?
It is Tassie's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone just wants to keep their talent where they are because Tassie's going to come in and just take everyone.
Would you? I know this sounds ridiculous, and this is just something I've never had to consider because I've just never been in that field. But in my head, I totally understand why if you're offered a 10-year deal, that's amazing because we know that the lifespan of a footy player can sometimes be
3 years the average.
3 years. So I get that. But, that's a long time to be at the one club where things can Petrarca, things change really, really quickly. So, I don't know. Part of me goes, I don't know if I'd want a 10-year job. Maybe 5 is perfect.
It's long. Yeah. I mean, there's no rule. Imagine, anyone who's on a trade site right now just leaving their office, being in an office job at a desk job. Your boss has never come and said, hey, you've been... The way you've been nailing those nails.
That spreadsheet that
you've done.
It's just...
I know you're on a contract, it's year to year, but we want to put forward a 10-year contract to you. What do you say? No one's taken that off.
Ever.
Smoko, the way you had a ciggy, had lunch, and then took a shit for 45 minutes. I've seen nothing like that. I want to sign you for another 10 years.
Your bus has only been late 3 times this month.
It's crazy.
The route that you are driving, you're in.
You're in. So it's, I mean, I played for 7 years. That's my contract in one signature.
That's, wow.
Good on him. Any player that can collect that, just take it.
You do, don't you?
You just take it. You do. So, we'll see. We'll see with him.
I feel confident. He seems really happy there, but there's no reason.
Did you give him a high five?
Yeah.
Did he? How did he receive that?
Yeah.
Does he know you exist or not?
Yeah. He follows me.
Okay. Does he?
Yep.
That's big. Tell you who does follow us, Tom Barras.
Yeah, huge.
Officially mates with him. I thought I was a bit concerned when the message came through. Notification
so hang
went
on.
on.
You saw Tom Barras has sent you a message?
Well, mate, absolute nightmare notifications. Jagger Smith ACL news came through, and then Tom Barras wants to send you a message. And my heart was just pounding, going, this is not a good time, Tom. If you need to give me some philosophy of how the Earth's moving, I was like, mate, I've got ACLs on my mind. I think I've just shattered both my knees. I cannot do this right now. But he gave us the old emoji. Now, I think he has an Android because it wasn't like an iPhone emoji. It was one of your ones where it's like sideways face, eyeballs you can make out, teardrop I assume, and then I'm pretty sure the lips were going smiley face.
Okay, so it looked a bit different.
So I didn't know how to take that. I led with a massive fan of your work. Just keep being you, mate. You could come wait to see you do your thing. And he said, mate, had a good laugh at that.
That's good. And it does not shock me at all that he's one of mine and he's rocking the androids.
Yeah, we got to get him in. Maybe we could give him a call from week to week, we want a minute of just him just debriefing in his own language how his week has gone. Not even do with football, just his life.
Yeah, I think that'd be really good. And you have come in here in a rather bad mood, but to be able to go, but does Jagger Smith have an ACL issue? Because when I look at to get that perspective from him,
yes, Jagger Smith has done his ACL for sure. There's no tendon in his knee right now.
Yeah,
but in another galaxy, he has a surplus of ACLs.
Yeah, he's got too many.
And one is just a drop in the bucket for him. He's running around just fine right now.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like he's dead. Like he's in heaven running around.
I
ACL
think
free.
Jagger's
So that's
fine.
a bit silly. Jagger is fine. But yeah. I mean, I was going to say I was give my ACL to Jagger Smith, but that
Would
was...
you? You don't need it now. You're not... You
I tried to do my knee at training once. That's when I was... This is going to get a bit sad. This is going to get sad. When I was in the depths of being really unhappy at football...
Okay.
Not being able to play was like a real happy place for me because the pressure of playing was horrible.
Oh, damn.
So I'd go out there and just start cutting viciously. Like actually for warm up, I'd be like, you know what? In the agility drills, let's just have a massive cut here and see what happens, and fully lean into it and press. Tell you what, not going anywhere.
If there's one thing you do have, it's good knees.
I have bad Achilles, but these ACLs, they're not snapping anytime soon. And I'm talking heavy lean into a right, push off sharply at a right angle.
It is incredible to me to think that all of my life I would do anything to be an AFL player, and all I hear from you is, then there was one training session where we were jumping off blocks onto sticks to try and break our Achilles, and then I was trying to do my ACL, trying to do it.
Yeah, well, it was on the matches, you see. So if you can give us a bit of time, I mean, doing ACL would be horrible. Oh, that'd be an absolute nightmare if I actually did do one, but the matches that came with it.
At the time.
When you're on, 40K, helps. We put this out to socials and IG during the week. We got some results here. We said, who is the worst fan base in the comp? Just a rogue thing we did. We know what we're doing. Bit of popcorn.
Yeah.
Light a match, throw it in there, see what happens.
Exactly. And this isn't your list. It's not my list. This is the people's list.
So we said, who's the worst fan base?
Yep.
Top 5 worst fan bases according to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, we had a tie.
Okay.
Melbourne and West Coast.
Okay. Now, are you going to read these out and then provide context as to why you think they're... Because I'm assuming some of these teams are bad for different reasons, right?
Well, the Melbourne would be not showing up.
Sure.
And West Coast fans, I think it was a lot of Freo fans saying West Coast fans are just arrogant and just we don't like them at all. Sure. So we don't have feet on the ground in Perth, but we assumed those two, we know they had each other.
Totally.
So I get it was a lot of Freo fans going, West Coast fans suck.
Yep.
Number 4, Hawthorn.
Interesting.
Get that. Remember when they were, the 3P and they were up and about? Mm-hmm. We hated Hawthorn. Mm-hmm. Arrogant, unsociable. Mm-hmm. They're moving back in that era. Mm-hmm. They're good. We still love them. We like them. But I think people are saying, hey, it's good when they're bad, but when they're good, remember what they're like.
And remember, Australia loves a bit of tall poppy syndrome. And with Hawthorn, how are you supposed to like a fan base that have never experienced being in the pits?
True.
It's difficult to connect with them.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah. Number 3, Carlton. I get that. We're bad. We're hard to deal with. Yeah, we're arrogant. It's just a lot for other fans to see Carlton fans on, especially when we're up and about. And we know we're good. That's when it's the worst.
I mean, you've based your entire career on throwing a box with a massive chain and and it's pre-season. So I can probably understand.
It means a lot to us, mate. Yeah, it means a lot. We're passionate.
People have an issue with Carlton fans.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Surprised me. Port Adelaide. They're fans. The Collingwood of SA.
Well, yeah, prison bars.
Yeah. Essentially a bit like Collingwood. Yeah, they're saying Port fans are no good. It could be a lot of Crom fans as well saying we hate Port. There was a lot of that going on in the comment section, but I think Port fans are very much, I don't want to say that word, F word. They're arrogant and just nasty.
Yeah, okay.
Nasty. So
okay,
that's
a bit rough around the edges is probably where they're coming from there.
And number 1, the worst fan base in the comp, no surprises, Collingwood.
Well done. Well done, Collingwood.
Well done, Pies. Won
Took it
something
out.
already this year. Worst fan base. I can see that.
Would there, I mean, we did really well not sort of putting in bias there, but was there maybe a team that you thought that was going to maybe appear in there that wasn't?
No, that was pretty expected.
That's
It
pretty
was
much-
funny seeing other teams like a North fan was like, "Why is no one mentioning us?" I was like, "Well, you're like 17 fans. There's that reason." And we're trying to get around you. The Suns are the same thing. It's like, well, yeah, you're up there somewhere.
They're fine.
Who's another team? I thought maybe Geelong.
Great call.
Geelong
Great
fans
call.
notoriously, when they're up and about, they're
Mm-hmm.
on the lip hard and on the finger lip.
I reckon Richmond. There'd be a case for Richmond at one point there.
I mean, they all came out of the woodwork for the
They
premierships.
big
and then
time did.
They were very lippy, which
Yeah.
is fair enough.
And
Man.
and Crows. But
There's your top 5. Hey, some breaking news here. Eagles are doing it. Eagles are saying, you know what? We've heard the news and the noise. You reckon that our club song absolutely stinks. It was no good. 2020, I think they changed it. Birds of Tokyo. Just got a feature and said, Birds of Tokyo, how about you do us a new edition of our song? And now they're sending out club emails to members being like, hey, we've heard what's going on here. We want you to vote now. Do you want the old song to come back or do you want to keep the new song? So let's listen to both right now.
what would you like first?
Let's go the new one
Okay.
first. Okay. We get that. Okay, that's that one. So that's what they're running with now. Now, I haven't heard it a lot lately,
Yeah.
but this is what
But that is what they've got.
that's what they've got. This is what they did have. Are you sure it's the right one? Okay, a lot of worthwhile highs. We get that. But is there any like chorus? Is there any like actual? Is it just that for?
Here we go.
Here we go. That's an electric guitar. Or bass, sorry. Sorry. Did they say were the big birds?
Yeah.
That's were the big birds of the big game.
Do you want me to get lyrics up?
Yeah. I think that they've got to vote for the old one.
I tell you what, both aren't great.
Both are horrible.
like-
Let's be completely honest. I think both are really, really just average.
Like it's
Were the big birds of the big
Okay.
game? Were the Eagles,
Okay, so
20 times?
it says here we're flying high times 20. So we got to get that right. Okay, so we're the Eagles, the West Coast Eagles. We're here to show you why. We're the big birds, kings of the big game. We're the Eagles. We're flying high. Then there's another verse. No, that's it.
That's the whole
that
song.
is, and it goes, we're flying high, we're flying high. We're here to show you why. We're the big birds, kings of the big game. We're the
Okay.
Eagles.
I'm starting to
We're
work out.
flying high.
Maybe the issue isn't the actual rendition, it's the lack of lyrics in the song. You're just saying we're the Eagles 20 times on loudspeaker to, 60,000 fans. We know who you are. Your fans know who you are. Okay, well, hopefully they do the right thing here. I mean, they should just open up to non-members of
Yeah.
the footy club to just to make sure we get it right,
Yep.
that we want the old one back. But good on them for listening.
Yeah. But
Good on them.
I don't mind that actually, opening it up to the rest of the football community because, there will come a time when West Coast are going to be great again.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to hear that song
And you want to get it
nearly
right.
every week. And, we want to, find some enjoyment out of it when
Yeah.
we see Blues or the Saints go over to Perth and lose. Like,
Sorry?
at least,
I'm not going over there to lose. They stink.
no, one day, one day.
Oh, man, they won't have names. They stink for a long
whatever.
time. And lose Harley. Might get Chad back, but that's okay.
Yeah, true. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, the old one's good. Bring back the old one, guys. Do the right thing over there, all you West Coast fans. The Suns, big news. Suns are doing a lot of new Guernseys, small numbers on the back of their Guernseys. Sombrero signing, pink Guernseys. Now they're going after Sam DeConning. Later this year, we think in free agency, they put an offer to him. I don't know where they've done that, but the news broke last week that the Suns have flagged their interest in signing the 23-year-old 2022 Premiership defender. People forget that. Just forget they want to flag at 2022,
Yeah.
don't you? Just went all out and want to
If
flag.
you're doing the list of like try and name all the premiership winners, and you sort of forget, just put Geelong in.
Yeah,
like
they'll be
they're
around
always
there.
there
Always be,
somewhere.
yeah, every 4 or 5, just go.
Yeah.
If you go blank, just go Geelong.
Yeah.
Probably going to be right. The Suns and Cats have always done trades together.
Yep.
They just love working together. 2 teams, 2 list management teams that go, you know what, let's get a deal done here. Gary Ablett, back and forth. Zach Smith, followed Gaz there. George Holland-Smith, I think we're talking about Jack Bowies as well. Jack Martin has somehow made his way there now as well. So they love working together. They always seem to get something done. But somehow the Suns are going to make this work. 3 first-round draft picks again they have to play with this year. Plus the academy that they just make work because they can bundle all the points together.
Yep.
Just keep getting all these picks and just going to start. They're going to start building a squad here.
Yeah.
They get Sam DeConning. It's pretty big. Obviously, they talk about Matt Rowell as well going to Geelong.
Yep.
Does that look like a straight swap eventually?
Is that no? I mean, that wouldn't be a straight. That'd be a. Would you send Rowell for DeConning and then a first rounder? That'd be all right. I think you'd take that.
If I'm the Suns, I'm sending Rowell for getting back DeConning and a first rounder.
And a first rounder. Yep.
I think Geelong would win that trade.
Yeah.
Still, I think if you get rid of first rounder.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
I can see that.
I think most people would win that trade, to be honest.
I can see that, but or do somehow Sam doesn't make his way to the Suns at all, and your mob somehow they've got a war chest, and it's jangling all over the shop. Do they get both DeConning brothers?
Well, I'd like to see where we get both DeConning brothers and both King brothers.
Brothers.
Just go after brothers.
Then Ashcroft brothers,
Yeah,
Dacos.
they're
a full team full of brothers. Yeah, love that. You're dying to sign someone, the Saints. Just fagging to sign someone. Just so desperate. Just dying to sign someone. So we know they threw $17 million over 10 years to CDK, which he's thinking about. Got no update on that. The Carlton Blues, they're pretty keen on him, or they think he's going to stay for way unders again.
We showed him a lot of respect on the weekend. He was in the forward line for half the time without a defender on him.
Do you reckon that's a little...
Yeah, there was that. I found that. And then they put Jimmy Webster on him.
Yeah, okay.
Eventually, and I was like,
okay,
I think we're showing you a little bit of respect here.
And their news broke yesterday. They threw the same offer, $17 million over 10 years, to Finn Callahan. Now, Finn Callahan's a great player, young player, 21, been in the year system for 3 years. Going to be an absolute stud. $17 million they threw at him. They also sat down with Jacob Wiedering. We heard towards the back end of last year. He said no thanks. Cam Rayner met with them. There was a rumor about Harley Reid and Ross the Boss in the elevator last season. Ross the Boss stayed back to meet with Harley, allegedly. Ben King, as you said, has been track. They were in the race for Baz when Baz was deciding where to go. So what are they doing? That's a lot of money to be thrown at players. It's a long contract as well.
But that's that's a great list of players we've gone after. If you can't tell me that if the Saints landed one of those guys, and they still could land a Track or a Ben King, I think probably the rest seem pretty locked up for the rest of their careers. But like, they're all fairly justified players to be throwing that sort of cash around for.
It's so reckless. It's reckless. I'm starting to think you're not the Saints list manager, are you? You're not just trying to sign guys that have liked your photo on Instagram going, hey guys,
True.
Matt Cottrell just liked a photo
Hear
of mine.
me out.
So just like, because if you are a top 200 player in the league right now and you come out of contract, you have every chance to get a knock on the door saying, hey, the Saints are coming with a huge, you won't believe this, 17 million. How many years? 10. What? I've played 3 games. Yeah, well, that's like trying to tell him.
Bloody good 3
I try to
games.
tell him. So, I mean, unless, the Finn one, unless his management have leaked this story to get a couple extra dollars out of the Giants, I have no doubt.
See, I'm going to really honestly hold my hand up and go, I don't know a lot about the kid. I know that he's been in the system, 3 years now?
Yep.
I think this hurts in particular because he's from the Bayside area. I think it's juniors he played for Morty Alec.
It hurts.
Then he played for Sandringham, our feeder club. So, it's not just coming back to the state or the city. It's coming back to your home area. So, it's huge if we can't get him over the
Paying you
line.
a lot to come back home. Just come home, please. He's a good 23, averages 23 touches, like a swing man. I think he plays wing, a little bit off half back. So, decent player. It's just 17 million is like a big...
50 games he's played.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot. I'd be saving the money for Harley if I was you guys.
100%.
I'm just saying, this has put an absolute mammoth offer forward.
Well,
You've got 17 now,
yeah.
you have 20 next year.
This is my only concern. I've always thought that. Okay, if we're good, but then again, you told me you're not allowed to save it. you remember? Because last year,
You can't just spend it.
I'm not great with money. And I was like, I just don't understand why you can't just put that in a term deposit.
You gotta spend it.
You have to spend
You
it.
have to spend it. You can't save it and be like, roll it up for, here's Harley, here's $35 million.
Yeah.
Which you probably would do. If we had 17 last year, you won't believe it. We saved it. We've got 41 million
Yeah,
now.
we've reinvested elsewhere and we've come back.
No, you got to spend it.
Okay.
So I feel bad for you guys because you just, as I said, you're dying for someone. So I put a list together here of players that I firmly believe you'll be able to land with a $17 million offer.
Okay, I like it. Hit me.
Number 1.
Yep.
Kieran Strawn. Jacob Kazitsky.
Okay.
Alex Chincotta.
Yeah.
Tom Campbell.
Who we just delisted? Yeah.
Caleb Poulter. Bont. But he's done both ACLs.
Okay. Yeah.
Cripper.
Yeah.
But he only plays like 5 games a year.
Okay.
And potentially Dusty. That's probably the list you're looking at of players that'll come there. So everyone's going to say, you just have to sign someone. With that money, you just have to sign someone. But no one's coming to you guys. You're the same. You're our insider here. What's going on? Why is no one coming? Be honest.
That's not true. Jack McRae just came to us.
Not for
don't
17
give
million.
me that. Yeah,
Not for 17 million. Why is no one coming for 17 million?
Well, I mean, look, it doesn't make sense to me, admittedly. Does it make sense to you? Like, if any AFL club, particularly a traditional one, it's in Melbourne, people want to live in Melbourne, like, I would have thought we'd get one of these guys. And I can only assume it's for the biggest fish possible.
I still believe that if I'm being offered $17 million, I'm taking it.
100%.
I have no loyalty is dead at $17 million.
Would you even go as far as say if your agent presented you a contract, it said $17 million, but he's covering the club logo in the top, you'd still sign it?
Mate, I'm telling you.
It doesn't matter.
If the Saints sat down to me and say I'm the Finn Callaghan, Wiedering, Tom DeConning, and they said, look, we've got 17 done.
It's true.
Could be 17, like anything.
Yeah.
I'm in.
They
wouldn't even be able to finish the sentence. I'd be like, where is it? I'll
Yeah.
sign it right now. Like, how could you not?
Yeah.
$17 million
Yeah.
for 10 years. I mean, my effort would absolutely decline. I'd sign that 10-year deal and I'd be asleep in meetings. I would just be not manning up at all. There'd be a complete drop-off, but I'd be on a 10-year deal for $17 million.
That is the concern,
What is
especially
it?
with a player we don't know, like Finn Callaghan. Like, oh,
Let's just do this. I mean, obviously tax comes into it, but 1.7 a year, right?
yep,
Is right.
yep.
Divided by a monthly. Obviously, there's tax coming into this and other stuff.
Yeah.
Super.
So you, car insurance.
$141,000 a month.
When you break it down, it becomes even more hurtful. No one's taken it.
Crazy. Imagine just your bank account and it's refreshing. It's like $100K a month. How you turn that down? So Finn Callaghan just signed a 4-year deal with the Giants to stay. So he turned down, say he's on, let's just say he's on $1 million.
Okay.
So he's turned down $13 million in 6 years to
Yeah.
stay at the Giants.
Yeah. He must back himself.
He's a good player. He's a great player.
Oh, I'm going to keep a really close watch on him this season.
Okay, we'll see. Do you see Harley's in his internal pracky match over there? In
Oh, the
Perth?
highlights, unreal.
Man. Honestly, I know anyone's going to look good playing West Coast, even though he's playing his own team.
Sure.
But what he was doing, literally throwing teammates around, bursting out of packs, like, I mean, the rumour and the news coming out of his preseason that he was a bit maybe out of shape, hadn't been doing a lot of the work because he'd been injured. Nah. This kid's off his head. Like, he looks unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ready to really collect that money. Am I a guy who's in the market for a lot of money? Him after this season.
Now, he's worth every cent of 17
He's worth
million.
more than that.
He's worth way more
Way
than that.
more than that. Yeah. And then also Ruben Gimby. See, he's playing off half back. Some of the highlights coming out of him.
Really?
Took this absolute screamer. He's a big boy too. He got muscles on muscles and lightning quick.
So we're getting a bit excited by the Eagles.
I think the Eagles they're building something out there. Freo are
Yeah.
definitely building something bigger out west, but West Coast are just slowly going about their thing.
Yeah.
On a rebuild. They get Chad.
That is good for them. They can sort of go under the radar a little bit, and then they'll, out of nowhere.
They'll catch some teams out
Yeah.
there at Optus Oval. Preseason games last week we spoke about. Suns won the triple threat match at the Gold Coast. Now, as I said, we were all waiting for weapons to come out. Barbed wire, top belt, a suplex. None of that. Just the Suns taking it way too seriously. Went to town on both Brisbane and Collingwood. They definitely thought that the Brisbane game was a Q clash and like they were playing for a cup because they were just going so hard. I have no idea what the Ashcroft brothers did to him, but they went after him. I don't know if you saw him. Like they went after Levi. I think Ben Long hit him after the ball. Went after Will Ashcroft. Ashcroft had to give Rao elbow on the guts.
That first Q clash is going to be fiery.
They pissed I call them the Bashcroft brothers.
Love that.
Yeah. Just they're going to go to town on the Suns.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done that. Why would you poke that bear?
No.
Don't need that at all. So Levi looks like he's going to be a stud. He looks so good.
Yeah.
Looked like probably as good as Sammy Walsh, Nick Dacos did first year.
Really? Okay.
He looks so comfortable.
And
really good.
big reports are like we've covered this already, but are you still big on him that he'll be better than Will?
I think we spoke to someone. We spoke to Dill last year, Dill Alexander, and he's like, he's the next level. He's serious. Yeah, not that Will isn't, but he's a step above.
Wow.
Also got a kid called Ty Gallup. Stallion, they call him.
They do?
Yeah, Ty Gallup. Unreal. Just an academy kid.
Right.
He looks really good.
I thought you meant the Ashcroft boys.
No, they have a kid. No,
yeah,
they definitely don't. No, there's a kid that they've got. The Lions fans, he's a star already.
Yeah, okay.
He's going to be a seriously good player. But I saw a Lions comment. Obviously, the fans were their first action of football, and they saw what they saw, a VFL team roll out and get rolled by the Suns.
Yeah.
So they were a bit angry.
Yeah.
And this one comment from a Lions fan goes, honestly, how long are we going to put up with this crap? Enough is enough. #Fagan out. They just want success up there. They would not put up with any failures. That's high standards. Why they're so good.
That's
so
true.
good.
Yeah, maybe there's something in it.
We saw Collingwood for a bit. Nick Dacos.
Yep.
Just still Nick Dacos. Just going to be a gun. He is literally the surest thing to winning a Brownlow this year than you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Had 18, I think, and a goal in the first half. He looks unbelievable. He's the quickest person to put the hammer down for a 1-2. Gives the one and just gone.
Yeah.
Gets the two.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like it. Just runs so hard forward.
Yeah. It's like those old toys you used to get, the slimy hands on the string.
Yeah.
And you go.
Yeah, and it's gone.
And then bring it back. It's like that.
He's crazy. He just drops the hammer so he looks like he's going to be an absolute. He's already a stud, but he'll take it next level.
There's a stud, and then there's
next level stud. See, Colin released their leadership group. 7 blokes in it. Darcy Morse the captain.
Okay.
Nick Dacos
7
vice captain.
people.
7's a lot.
I mean,
like
that's
30% of the team is a leader.
I mean, that's a good problem to have, I suppose.
Too many leaders is a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Yeah. Nah, it's a lot for a leadership group. It's a heavy leadership group. Nick Dacos being vice captain. He should next year. He's captain.
Yeah. I agree.
You think so?
I agree.
Yeah. Darcy Moore. A lot of Pies fans say they still make him nervous down back.
Oh, he was copying it last year.
Well, he made Billy Frampton defend.
Yeah.
The best key forwards. Which is why I think the Pies fans are like, hey, just man up on like the best forward.
Yeah,
You're
that
the
is your
captain as
job.
well.
Yeah.
You are the captain. Crows played in the showdown in Mount Barker. I tell you what, City loves their footy. Mount Barker.
Oh,
Geez, they turn up for it.
you couldn't get a ticket.
In droves.
Yep.
Just Friday night, a few frothies out there. They were loving it. Crows just beat the shit out of Port. That's a team, if we were doing lid status, Crows would be right off.
Really? Yeah.
Last year, I didn't buy into the hype on Crows. Everyone was saying the same thing. Oh, they're going to make a push here. They're going to return to finals. Maybe this is the year that they return back. The Crow takes full flight. Last time they played finals 2017.
Yep.
And power stance it.
Yep.
Maybe they might power stance back in September this year.
They're going to be the big birds in the sky.
Well, definitely the only bird in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. They looked really clean. And I know it's hard to take a lot of these preseason games, but when the score line's like almost 10 goals,
yeah, 100%.
That's when you go, oh, maybe this might be a little bit.
There's a bit
legit.
to read into.
Saligo is just another one who's looked unbelievable, kicked his 3. But yeah, the big winner's Mount Barker.
What a spectacle.
Big
And I
turnout.
remember last week when we went, oh yeah, Mount Barker, well, what times? Oh my God, Friday night.
Yeah, that's big time for Mount
like
Barker.
6:30 or whatever. What time? Like ridiculous.
Big
so
time.
Good.
Ballard Bridge was on, Sydney Giants now. Packer Stringer didn't play.
No.
Was in hospital the night before.
Was he really?
Had the flu. I think he had a migraine.
Jeez. Did it have to be pretty bad to go to hospital?
I've never had a migraine. I assume
No.
it's pretty bad. It's a
Yeah, they're
headache,
not
isn't it?
great.
Isn't it just a headache?
No, you lose vision and it's nasty. But
Fair enough. Well, we didn't get to see him because he spent the night in the hospital, wanted to play, and they said, listen, mate, just go rest your head. Take it easy. Take some Panadol.
Yeah.
Rest up. And Sydney just took their grand final loss out in the baby brother. Just beat the shit out of him. Just for in the rain as well. Chad Warner had zinc on his nose and his ears. It's pissing down rain, Chad. I love Chad so much. He's just like, you can tell he's a bit rare unit like me.
yeah,
There's some
he's got something in
similarities.
him.
Just does not care about anything except for footy and packing stuff for Perth.
What are your interests, Well?
Well, I like packing. I like being a landlord.
We've discovered
And
that.
going back home. Marty kicks 6, Heaney still Heaney, and then you just know the Giants, Kingsley's going to train them into the ground. Just absolutely abuse them for a couple of weeks in the lead into round 1. Melbourne's VFL team beat North by 40 points.
Yep.
So that was interesting to see North just get destroyed in their home deck.
Or the home of all homes. Like, that's not
I
Marvel.
wonder if North will take the jump this year, or is it going to be the same North Melbourne that we know?
I reckon that. I'd like to believe they will.
Oh,
There were maybe
hope
5 or
so.
6 games last year. Like, remember the Collingwood game in particular? There were a few. Yeah, I want to say probably 5 games that they could have won, and that's a different looking team.
Yeah, right. Well, the highlight of this game was Jake Lever and Larky doing rock, paper, scissors before they bounced because they didn't have a coin. That's the way it should be from now on. Just do rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
Get it over with. Yeah, we went and saw Melbourne train a couple of weeks ago, and they looked quick. Like, everything was through the corridor. It looked exactly like that. It looked exactly like that on the weekend again. They're just quick this year.
Yeah.
Clary is seriously back in shape.
Really.
Like, just he's back.
That's
back on his bullshit.
A worry for the league.
The league, yeah, great for Geelong.
Yeah, really good for Geelong.
Great for Geelong. But I think Melbourne ball movement, when you see them, like round 1, you'd be like, whoa, that's a different movement of style gameplay they have.
Well,
it's crazy.
My mate made a really good point on the weekend that he's a D's fan, and you go, okay, look, if we got to call a spade, let's be honest here. We've got about 3 of our best players that aren't probably going to be at the club next year. So they're going to play out of their skin this year.
Oh, yeah.
And so I feel like that there's a chance that Melbourne could be unbelievable this year, and then the capitulation will start.
There has to be a bounce back season where they go, you know what, we're sick of all these bullshit stories about us always being in the media. Our players are leaving. We've got a culture problem.
Yep.
You know, goody this, that. There's got to be a season where they all come together and go, you know what, let's prove it wrong. Let's come
Could be this
together.
year.
Could that be the year? And then they fraction apart and to go back to the
I
toilet.
think we know that
And
that's
then done.
happening.
But just so much has happened.
Yeah.
The footy club off the field that everyone looks at them and goes, "Oh, you're a basket case," but they're just
Yeah.
a seriously talented side.
100%.
They can't. I think Track's going for Brownlow.
He's been training with NASA.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that helps.
he's,
Yeah,
you
when he's
know.
in the G-force machine,
Yeah.
he's doing crunches, going against the G-force. It's just like, well, this guy's a freak.
Okay, let's just
Needs to calm down, and then get a cash converters out again.
Oh, yeah.
Do you reckon he shops at cash converters?
Almost certainly not.
Lockie Neal would not.
I think out of the 2 of them, he would.
No one's
Lockie-
ever gone. You won't believe who I saw at cash converters. Track was getting Xbox. What's model? Oh, the first one.
Have you been to cash? Have you sold or bought anything from cash converters?
No, I've never sold anything to cash converters. Bought anything. I would have back in the day. Dad used to take me down there back in the day, get some games. Some stolen bike and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Have
Wait,
you been there before?
Yeah. I bought a couple of things from cash converters.
What have you bought?
Guitar. Bought a guitar once. I did sell an Xbox, bizarrely.
What'd you get? Good price for it?
I think I got like $350.
That's pretty good.
Which is pretty good, realistically. I don't mind popping in and out a bit of car, but it's actually not as cheap as it used to be. It used to be like that's where you go for like a really good pickup.
Yeah.
But now that Xbox that I sold to them would probably be like $20 cheaper than if you just went to
True.
EB Games or whatever.
And got something
Yeah.
second hand. Yeah, fair enough. We have footy this week, thank God. 10 stays until the season's back. I think it's 10 days. 10
Yeah.
days until we're back officially. Opening round, which still, we don't know if that's official, but it's a round apparently. 10 days until we get some football action that means something. None of this iPhone camera, twos commentary team. We think hopefully from tomorrow's game, the senior lineup of the commentary team will be in.
Yep.
The senior cameraman will be in.
Yep.
The cameras will be there.
Yeah,
Do we assume that's going to happen?
I think so.
Is this their pre-season as well?
I mean, put it this way. The games we have seen in the last 10 days, whatever it's been, they're not even on the AFL website.
They don't care about them.
Yeah, but
don't
this, now here, it's got competition, AFL preseason, looking at now, Geelong, Essendon, 7-10. Like, it's a bit more official.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It means something. The
yeah.
stats will be there. We'll know what's
100%.
happening.
Yeah.
We've assumed that, the senior cameraman, hey,
Yeah.
it's time to work now.
Senior
Enough's
mics,
enough.
senior cameras, all the rest of it.
Okay.
Yep.
So Essendon Geelong tomorrow we have, which will be, that'll be good actually. Thinking full teams now. We playing everyone.
At least for 3
We're
quarters.
going to play everyone. The 3
Yeah.
quarters, you reckon?
Well-
It'll be a squad of 25 though,
Yeah, it
wouldn't it?
would.
Okay, so if you're not in this squad,
It's not looking
you're not
good.
playing round 1.
Yeah.
A lot of nervous boys. Okay, so senior squads, full dress rehearsal. Essendon Geelong tomorrow. Richmond Collingwood.
Added icon.
What?
Fair enough.
That Wednesday game?
Richmond Collingwood.
Wow.
Added icon.
Okay. Thursday, Hawks, Dogs. Yell out if there's anywhere being played that's just random.
Yep. University of Tasmania Stadium.
That's, yeah,
Feels
okay.
very harsh to go down there for pre-season, but fair enough.
Lions, Crows.
Brighton Homes Arena in Ipswich.
Yep. Friday, Giants v Crows.
Am I
different to you?
Yeah.
What am I?
Hang on. What did you say? Giants.
Giants, Crows.
It's Lions Crows
Oh, really?
and then Giants Carlton.
Oh, sorry, Giants, Carlton. Yeah, Giants, Carlton. Where's that? Canberra.
Monica.
Yep. Sun, Sydney. Eagles, North. Sorry,
Uh,
I went ahead.
yeah, that's at Hands Oval in Bunbury.
Is it actually? That was at Heads Oval. So we're going to Bunbury for the first
Yeah,
time.
we'll see the,
Right,
the
we're
bright
going to
lights
see
of
it. What
Bunbury.
we're dealing with.
Yep.
Okay. Secure to Port.
That's at RSCO.
And then the graveyard, of course, Freo and Melbourne.
That is at Rushton Park
Where
in
the fuck is Rushton Park?
Mandurah.
Okay, so in Perth somewhere.
So we're getting out there.
We've got some, I mean, it is a community series. We're getting back to community. There's
Yep.
a lot of towns you get to see, some AFL players there. We'll get to see it as well on the TV.
Yep.
Hopefully better quality
Yep.
for sure. But footy's almost here. We're almost here. We're almost here from being 3 eps a week.
Yeah,
Next week we start.
week.
Next week we start. Next week on Monday, should we open the shred line, the hotline? Or do we wait for post round one?
Post round one.
Post round one. Okay, we do that.
So it'll be when we get back. It'll be a Monday, Monday afternoon. Then there'll be a Thursday morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then there'll be a Friday.
Yeah.
A little teaser.
Yeah,
Little-
that's the play.
Yeah.
That's the play. Okay, we'll be back in your ears on Thursday.
Yes.
Hopefully the lid has calmed down a bit. I did throw that viciously.
Mm.
Ash got scared. So, look, Blues fans, hang in there. It can only get better. I mean, it could definitely get worse.
could get
I mean,
worse.
all the boys could their knees. They could 100% get worse.
Yeah.
Hang in there. We'll be back with you guys later in the week. See you.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.